Hey.
Trying to get my camera right here. All right.
Yeah, that's
am I right side up or am I? There we go. All right. You got me. I'm Anna.
nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen.
And I sent the invite to Candace. Let's see.
Great. No, I can't turn. No. There we go. There we go. Got me in the little box here. Looking forward to this. It'll be fun.
I know. I love doing these. I love learning about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not allowing me to invite Jonathan.
See.
Maybe once he comes on.
We'll take a minute. We know it'll get there. It'll totally happen.
Yeah, eventually. So how's your day going?
Oh, it's going great. It's actually like the first breezy day here in Virginia in a while.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in New Mexico and we've been getting a lot of rain, which we definitely need. And it's cooling things down a bit, but we've had some flooding, so.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's not good. Never been in New Mexico, but I hear good things.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Virginia. Never been there either.
It's okay. It's a lot of history. We have mountains and the ocean. I'm like, you got a little bit of it all. Hey, hello. John. There we go.
Hi.
We got two.
We got 2 out of 3. We just need the third.
Guess we could wait for her.
I guess.
I'm gonna be ugly. It's my sister, so I'm like, ew, gross.
Do we have to?
We do. We'll be nice. We'll be nice.
Technology is always fun, right?
Hello to anybody that's already watching.
Yes, hello. All right, well, it says she's unable to join, so...
She'll be here soon. I think she tried it from a desktop, and Instagram was not meant for desktop.
There we go, there we go. All right, we're all here. So,
all right, cool.
Well, hello to everyone that's joined. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. We'll get them answered for you. And thank you guys for coming on and reaching out.
Absolutely.
This is definitely going to be fun. So did you want to introduce yourselves individually and then as the band?
Yeah, I'm Anna. I'm lead singer.
I'm Candy. What do? I do harmonies and I play bass.
And I'm John. I play guitar and I do harsh vocals.
And we are a day in Pompeii.
Awesome, nice to meet you. I'm Jen. Okay, weird comments in there. All right.
All
right.
Yeah.
It looks like we got a bot in the house. Okay. How did you guys get into music, like individually?
Oh gosh. I'll start. Sure. Just as a kid and listening to it, realizing, oh, I can do that. I enjoy this. And then growing up, I did gospel music, choirs, a cappella groups, that sort of thing. And then Candace and I, or Candy, we I guess, like, I don't know, what were we, like 13 and 15? We were like, hey, we can do music. We can do this. We can write songs, or we can.
Yeah,
we can
mid-teens, early teens. Yeah.
And so Candace and I started doing music together, just like a little duo. And that's how it started for me.
Very cool.
I guess jumping off of that, I guess my story kind of rolls out of that too. And I've always been involved in music, especially as a vocalist in one way or another, as long as I can remember. And very active with gospel music, with a cappella, did a lot of folk and acoustic type stuff. And it really wasn't until like our 20s, actually. I can't speak for her. I'll speak for myself. That in our 20s, it's like let's actually do let's do something heavier. Let's do something a little more than that. Okay, and so we got connected with a few people that helped us, get our foot in the door with things, and actually get into working as a band and learning how all of that works. And boy, that was probably like 15 years ago, and here we are, still doing it. It's fun.
Very cool. Keep it up.
Yeah. I started out playing music probably around 7 or 8. Started out with classical piano, and then from there I got into heavy music through my dad, who was in a couple bands in the 80s, and he just had this massive record collection. I would just go down and, you know, thumb through them, and he had, Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and I was like, this is so cool. I want to do this. And, I always wanted to be as cool as the famous guitar players on TV, and that never happened.
Well, maybe someday. We still got time.
Yeah, maybe.
And how did A Day in Pompeii start?
Well, Candy and I were in a band, and we knew John through the music scene, and we needed a drummer. John can play everything, and we needed a drummer, and he hopped in on the band that we were in at the time, played with us for a little while. We went our separate ways, and then a few years after that, we kind of got back together doing music. Like, I did some vocals on a song John had, and then from there it was like, this is gonna be a band. We're gonna become a band. That was what it looked like from my point of view. I don't know if there was intentions of like, yeah, let's put her on a track and then we'll tell her, hey, you want to be a vocalist, or just kind of happened. But I'm glad it did. And then when we went from there to like, hey, let's make this a thing, kind of reeled Candy in. I was like, hey, join me. Let's do this. We've done this before. We can do it again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, a lot of the bands that I've heard from that actually like work really well together are the ones that just kind of like, let's do this, and then you just know when it fits. So
yeah,
that's
it's trusting people and being confident in their abilities and be like, hey, I can do music with you. It's like working with somebody, but this is a choice, so it kind of worked out.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely have to trust people because you're with them all the time and you're creative together. So when you know it, you know.
Yeah.
And who are some of your musical influences?
Somebody else talk first.
John, you go first.
I mean, pretty much anything. I know everybody says they listen to everything, but I really do. I listen to everything. But I mean, I'm a classic heavy metal guy. New wave of British heavy metal. I'm a metalcore kid. Vans and skinny jeans and Warped Tour type guy.
Nice.
That you can hear it in our music. You just kind of pull from everything. I could sit here and talk your ears off with influences and favorite bands, but that's pretty much it. I'm a heavy guy at heart, and I do like jazz and blues and stuff like that, but it's the heavy stuff for me.
Yeah. Nice. I vocally, like, I love the greats, like Whitney Houston, and I'll go there, Mariah. Voices that are easily recognized. I'm like, man, because when I was a kid, I was like, my God, I love that. I want to do that. They just influenced the idea of like being a powerhouse and strong vocal ability. It's definitely something to aspire to, but just hearing it was like, wow, I want to sing. I want to do something like that. But the music I like singing is heavier. And so it's like rolling those influences into just the music I want to be a part of, where you get in where you fit in. And I don't think I would fit very well with a 16-piece jazz ensemble. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's skill and talent, but it's not like it's never been the influence. Yeah, I listen to a lot of things. I really enjoy folk. I really enjoy. I like pop music. I like to dance. I'm going to listen to it. But as far as, and that can definitely influence vocals, but being able to put that into heavier music is really, really fun. So yeah, I guess like kind of like the great vocalists of all times, all the divas, I listen to them. Those are the women I'm like, yeah, I'm going to listen to you, and I like that.
I like to think if Alison Krauss started listening to gothic metal and then moved out into the woods somewhere, that's what I want to sound like. I grew up listening to, yes. Well, I grew up listening to everything from disco to classic rock, bluegrass and southern gospel to folk, and then as I got older, thankfully in our area, actually like heard heavy music, and I'm like, oh, I really like this. It'd be cool to be able to do this one day. To what is it? Zoolander said, This is what I want to do. I want to be ridiculously good looking. He's like, no, I would say I want to. I want to be able to sing like that and play heavy music like that. And not that I do it great, but I have a good time with being able to do it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's very cool. So what I love about like pretty much all of your answers are you listen to everything, which my playlist is all over the place. And I definitely think that's awesome for bands because, you get influences from everything. It doesn't have to necessarily be what you're performing or singing.
Right.
But, I hate when people like put themselves in a box like, oh, we have to sound like this. It has to be like this. Like the best bands are the ones that experiment and try new sounds and keep it fresh. So yeah, I love all those answers, and I definitely am the same way. I grew up with the Mariahs, I was a little kid in elementary school listening to gangster rap, and then I got into Korn and Limp Bizkit. So I'm all over. Vans Warped Tour you mentioned, like I was totally a Warped Tour kid. I went like every year, so yeah, love it. And now I definitely feel like I gravitate more to the heavier stuff. So just gets me through being an adult, I guess.
That's a really good point. It's like the older I get, the more I'm like, man, this all makes sense. Right. Lyrically, musically, I'm like, this is a representation of how I feel, and it just goes right along with my life. Absolutely makes sense.
Right. Definitely relatable. And what instruments do you guys play, like in the band, but it also could be like instruments you play outside of the band?
I sing. I'm a vocalist, but I don't like to tell people this because then they want me to prove it. But I started this whole like musical band journey as a drummer, and I didn't belong there. I was like, this isn't my place. I'm not going to take this any further. I'm not good at it. Yeah. I didn't belong behind a kit. I belong on a microphone. I knew that's where I should be, and that's where I'm going to stay.
Yeah, that's funny though, because I've mentioned this a few times in interviews, but like in high school, I tried to play the drums too.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really fun, but I'm like, this is not what I'm meant to do.
It's good to try.
Exactly. Gotta try stuff.
John, you next.
Okay.
Or wherever you go.
So it's a band live, but if you listen to our recordings, I pretty much play every instrument on there.
Other things.
Play drums, I play piano, and a very bit of bad banjo or banjo. One of the maybe the spoons. I can play the spoons.
I need spoons. Cowbell.
But yeah, just mainly the core guitar, bass, drums. That's
nice.
That's
My first instrument was the piano, and then I learned guitar, mostly acoustic guitar, in my teen years, and then later picked up bass. I don't do it very well, but it's lots of fun. And I also have attempted the banjo. I have a banjo. Doesn't mean I know how to play it, though. inherited one from my grandpa. And so, yeah, one day we may have to actually just be dueling banjos in a damn bomb.
Play
Do
all
it.
the instruments we want to play and just play them really badly.
Right? At a live show, just bust them out sometime.
You want to hear
That would be.
something new?
Hey guys, here we got something for you. What artist or band would you want to collaborate with if you could?
That's really hard. Oh man, I'm just gonna be really. I'll be in the now, and they're probably sick of hearing it. But like, I am currently in love with the band The Warning.
Okay.
They're three sisters. Okay, they rock, and everybody needs to go listen to their new album. I would collaborate with them like right now. If someone said, "Hey, you want to do a song?" Absolutely. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm gonna do it. I'm more about like who I'm listening to right now.
Yeah.
Sure, tomorrow that could change. It could be someone else. It could be someone else.
Yeah. I get that. I get in like moods where I like only want to listen to a certain band. And I'm like, okay,
I'm a hyperfixate.
Yeah.
And this is no surprise to the two ladies below me. It would have to be Beartooth. Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. That
like,
too.
up and they were like, hey, we want to come do guest vocals on a track. I would buy their plane ticket and pick them up at the airport.
With a hug.
Awesome.
Nightwish, Reliant K, or Demon Hunter.
They're all different.
Right? I was like, Nightwish and Reliant K are like completely opposite.
They are.
Yep.
I'm just glad
work.
he knows who Reliant K is.
Yes.
Respect.
Love Reliant K. Totally grew up with them.
Did we grow up in the same town? No, I'm just playing.
I'm sure we grew up in the same time frame.
Yeah, there we go.
Like it. What is your creative process like?
Yeah. Somebody else go first. And I got a big mouth.
I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and write riffs, and then forget them.
Or like, hey, I went ahead and did this to a song, and I sent it over to everybody. It's everyone can listen to it when you wake up.
That has happened.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, wait a minute, wake up. I'm like, when did he do this? Currently, a lot of our songs, like the songs we've released already, we have 3 singles out, and they were already written musically, and even some of them lyrically were completed. And so when I joined on to do those, it was just, how do I want to sing this? What can I bring to this that's me? Maybe, rewrite a line here or there. And really when we're tracking something, and I can only speak for the vocal part, but when we're tracking vocals, somebody has an idea, we put it on there and see if we like it. And we'll always say, if it doesn't work, if we don't like it, we don't have to use it.
Right.
But at least it's there, it's ready to go. And I really like that, because we don't say no to anything until we see if it works. And it's experimenting. We're going to give it a go. We're going to try it. And everyone seems to be on board with that process so far.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a good process, because you never know what's going to come out of it.
It's like always just try. Just give it a try if you had a thought about it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
The old days where you were recording to tape, and you kind of had to stick with it. Now everything's digital. You can just click a button and it's gone. So why not try it? If it works,
right.
It doesn't.
And with technology nowadays, it's so much easier to do and experiment with stuff like that.
It's super easy, because I wasn't joking about waking up in the middle of the night and writing stuff. I'll just hear it and plug in and just put my headphones and try out riffs. But I mean, when I write, it's either I'll write the guitar part first. Sometimes I'll come up with the drum beat and then write to the drum beat, but usually it starts out just on guitar and then just build it up from there.
It's a similar process with lyrics. It's like an idea, and then you build on it, and that's really all it is. I used to never want to present a song lyrically unless all of it was done top to bottom, every word. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to sing. And I had to break out of that, especially with being in a day in Pompeii. It's like I need more input. I need like the ideas of everyone else. Hey, I don't like this line. Fix it. And it becomes everyone's song when you do it that way. Taking that approach. It's like, hey, what do you think? What can we change? Speak on it. And that process so far has worked out.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, because sometimes you get kind of stuck
Yeah.
in a, maybe somebody else would have an idea that you may not have thought of. So
The
it's very cool. Yeah.
they have helps.
Where do you find you get your inspiration from?
Okay. The inspiration to, I guess, inspiration to do music, to do this.
Yeah.
The need to do it. The need for a creative outlet, and this is the one I've chosen. And if I don't do it, I ask myself, well, what else is there aside from your regular obligations of life, of work, and of course family. It's the enjoyment, even though it's like it can be really, really hard. It can be really taxing, and if you're in survival mode, you're busy, you have your work life. It's really hard to be creative. So I am inspired by the need to do so. For me, that's for me. It's like I have to do this to make everything else kind of worth doing.
Yeah. You see that?
I always found it was actually just a natural expression, and not that everything that I've written or sang is so great, but like, you know, as a kid, I came up with songs and came up with melodies to them, and then realized, oh, that's a thing that people do. That sometimes people do that and they make music together with it. Oh, okay, so it's not just some weird thing. Like, no, that's a thing that some people do. And that it was just naturally how I dealt with life, how I dealt with the thoughts or the feelings and the hopes and dreams and whatever I've been experiencing. So I think the motivation, it's just already there, to express yourself, express myself through music and through singing, through songwriting. That's just who I am.
And for me, as much as I hate to say it, like I hate music sometimes because I do. It's one of the few things in my life that I'm actually sort of decent at doing. And so it's kind of like, well, I'm bored. I'm gonna play music, and I got a lot going on up here, inside, and it's just a good way to get that out and just flush it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And like your answer, Anna, like Will from Echo Stone, who you would, seen us do an interview with, he had
Yeah.
told me he had pretty much stopped doing music a few years ago, and then like got to this point where he was like, I have to do this again. Like I just have to. So yeah, I can see it being something that you feel like there's a need to do. And what I love about music so much is like for you guys that can create, like I'm not creative at all. I'm not a
I'm
musician.
sure
Can't do
you're
any of that.
creative.
But I love music. And like for you guys, it's such an outlet to like get those emotions out. But then like for someone like me who listens to your music, we can also relate on like those same topics and
Oh
things that you
yeah.
guys are thinking about and going through. So it definitely brings everybody together, whether you're making the music or whether you're listening to it. So that's
That's
what I
what
love
I think
so much.
about when if I'm writing a lyric. It's like, who else feels this way? How can I make this more universal and not just about me? How can I word this in a way where someone else is like, oh my God, that's how I was feeling, and I just didn't know the right words to say it, and they find it in a Day in Pompeii song.
Exactly. Is there a song of yours that means the most to you, and why?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, go John, go.
the mine's actually a song that we haven't released yet, uh, and it's called Wildwood, after the town in the armpit of America known as New Jersey. And so I wrote it
So
up,
good.
and I wrote it, and it's the only song that we have so far, because some of our songs have some harsh vocals here and there in a chorus or whatever. This is the first song that actually splits it between harsh and clean, straight off. I kind of wrote it to be about the duality of you as a person. And so you have your angry voice, and then you have your nice, pretty voice, and they're just battling it out. And that's what the song is. It has nothing to do with New Jersey.
It doesn't have to.
That's right.
Really,
But that one means a lot, and it was really the first song that I wrote for what became A Day in Pompeii. And so that, even though it's not out yet, it's almost out. It's going to come out soon.
It's so close.
Yeah, that one probably means the most to me so far.
And I will second that song as far as just like, I didn't write the words, but it's so much fun to sing. And for me, the song is so much more complex than our 3 releases we have right now. Just because I feel like it's just more like we're diving more into what A Day in Pompeii is, like what we're about. And musically and vocally, I think that song is really going to bring that full circle for everybody. And it's not out, but I think it's definitely worth talking about.
well, we can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. I as far as the releases we have, songs you can hear right now, I did write the lyrics for Hear Me Now, and it meant a lot at the time to be able to get out what I was feeling. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I did it. I'm proud that I wrote it and made it happen. And the music behind it was already there. And so I just had to bring the idea to life lyrically. And so right now, out of songs you can go back and listen to lyrically, I'm really proud of Hear Me Now. It was a lot of fun to record. And so that would be my choice right now.
I like them all. I know that's a blanket sounding statement, but I like them all. In Wildwood, I feel like I grow black, silvery, glittery wings whenever I sing that song. And when it comes out, maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about.
They'll reference this. They'll know.
Come back to Bangover Colts Live with this.
We will all think back on this. That's awesome. Well, so speaking of the song, do you have a release date for it yet or no?
No.
No, not yet.
We just finished up the last little bit of tracking on it. So we're going to listen through it as a band, make sure that we like everything sounds good, and it's up to our obscenely high standards that we have. And then we got to get in touch with the guys that mix it for us and see if they got an opening, and we'll send it off to them. They'll make it sound super nice.
Yeah.
And I would say hopefully end of August, maybe September.
Yeah.
For
Okay, well, definitely something to look forward to. And do you guys have any shows coming up?
Not right now. We're getting our new drummer up to speed, pun intended.
Yeah.
Getting things worked out.
He shattered about half of his body, so he's definitely getting back up to speed.
Yeah. You break your leg, you kind of need it for drumming, so
Yeah.
we're staying busy until the season of gigs happens, for sure. We've been enjoying doing interviews and working on things behind the scenes, working on our set, working on songs, tracking, staying busy.
All right, well, I know you guys talked about being musicians for a while. So what is the funniest or craziest thing that's ever happened at a show? It could be with this band, it could be previous band.
I like fractured my ankle trying to save a banner it's a Harley Davidson gig, and it was our second one there. We had done a battle. This was with a previous band of years back, but I was younger then, and we had done a battle of the bands there, and we won. And so we came back to do like a full set, several hours worth. And we finished our first set. I was taking a break, and the wind picked up because we're doing a gig outside. Banner blows away. I'm running after it. There's like 200 people watching. I fall. I go
Oh
down
my
hard, and I finish the next set just sitting on a stool, which isn't. It's kind of a like a buzzkill for a rock band, but I had to finish.
Yeah, I mean the
That's
show must go on, right?
and it's like I don't think that's the wildest thing, but it's the most painful thing that's happened. And as far as like physical injuries at a gig, that totally sucked. And crutches are not a good look at all. But yeah, that was it was fun. It was super embarrassing. I think that moment really helped me grow a thick skin of like you're gonna mess up in front of people. You might fall, you might slip. Here's your do's and don'ts. And I learned from it. And that was rough. That was rough.
I can see that, but that's pretty badass that you like finished the show even
Oh
though
yeah. And then I drove home several hours afterwards in a big van packed with all of our gear. I was
oh
like,
god.
I got this. I'm good. I grew up that day.
Sounds like it.
I'd have to say the two that pop out most. One time, in a previous band, we got to play a show in a skate park
Oh,
in the half pipe
that was
the
fun.
backyard Tuesday night. No,
I knew you were
but
gonna do
no,
that.
thank you. But no, that was pretty wild. And I remember once coming home from a gig in the middle of nowhere. We stopped at in another band. We stopped on a gas station on the way home, and these people come up to us like, "Hey, we saw this gear in your van. Are you guys a band or something?" Like, yeah, we just came from a show. I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. We're a band too. We're called Southern Culture on the
And they're
Skids." I'm like,
so
I don't know
cool.
what that is, but that's cool. Go and look them up. And like, apparently their songs have been on like on all the Burnout video game
Yeah.
Oh wow.
soundtracks. And I know it last summer, and they were just totally normal people. Like, oh yeah, hey, we're in the band. Nice to meet you. We'll check you out. Bye. And like, what? That's cool. Yeah, so
I feel like these
that's one thing.
are mild things, but
I mean
you know,
Really
they were
mild, but,
cool for us. John, what you got?
That mine is also in a different band. I was in a southern hardcore band. Um, and we were playing a benefit gig in Ohio, which is not wondering. And so we're playing, and I'm playing, and I break a string. Not just a break, like it just was flopping there. I took it, I yanked it up, and it's unwinding, and I stuck it over my head, and I'm playing, and then the people putting it on decided like they were done with us, right? We were the last band, they were done, too loud. They start dropping the curtain. I was far enough on the stage where I was in front of the curtain as it dropped. So the band's all covered up. I'm in front of this curtain by myself, and I'm just playing. The band's still. Well, here comes the security guard. Picture a stereotypical security guard sitting at like on his. He's coming up. He's like, "You gotta leave." I'm like, "I'm not leaving." It was straight up like that scene out of 10 Things I Hate About You, where he's on the bleeding
Run away.
forth and back and forth until finally it was just like, yeah, I'm done, and walked away.
that's awesome.
That's good.
That is a good one.
I'm not leaving. You know,
Make me. He's
Make me?
like, well.
come over here and make me.
All right, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Right now, Darker Nights is probably one of the most fun
It just
of our
hit.
songs. Well, just because, you know, especially when we play it out and the people that have heard us before, you know, the way that they react with it is really great.
It was our first release, and
Yeah.
so people were like they knew that song first. And we end our sets with it. I have to agree that one's probably my favorite just because everyone's singing along. And if they're not, it feels like they already know it. That second chorus, you know?
Yeah.
That one's a lot of fun.
Mine is Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. We do. It's so much fun. And I was I was surprised our last gig, like every dude was singing at the top of their lungs. It's like, yeah, y'all like Kelly too.
They do.
As well
I like
Everybody,
Kelly.
like
I like
secretly, the
Kelly.
metal guys like all that pop stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, go to a metal show and they play like Backstreet Boys and like in between the sets, and people are like jamming out. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brings them together.
What did you say?
Oh, I said it brings the people together.
It definitely does. It's so funny because like I just saw From Ashes to New like a couple weeks ago, and like their intro song is Backstreet's Back, and
That's
like
great.
everybody gets all hyped to it. It's so funny.
That sounds like a good time.
You know, what is the best advice you've ever been given? It can be about music or just life in general.
A couple years back, a band, Candy and I were in. We did. Can you hear me? Am I good? Okay. Yeah. Couple years back, we did a battle and we didn't win, and I was a little bit bummed. But the judges were like, "Come here, come over here, come see us," and they were like, "Look, you guys didn't have a crowd for you because you're not local." And he's like, "But otherwise, I think you would have won." And they're saying all the nice things, but something that I don't even remember exactly what he said. It just stuck with me. He's like, just keep doing it. Keep singing. Keep doing this. You're supposed to do this. And it was like really encouraging because it's like, man, I just lost. And they could have just been saying things just to be nice, but like I think this person really meant it. And it sucks because I'm kind of like paraphrasing, but as far as music goes, he's like, just keep doing this. And I'm like, all right, I'll just keep doing this. I'll just keep doing it. And so, a lot of times if you take a loss in music, whatever that looks like, I'm just going to keep doing it. In spite of myself, in spite of people who didn't like it, and in spite of the circumstances, just keep doing it. Or, as Dory said, just keep swimming.
Right.
And that is really good advice because you never know. Like, just because you didn't make it that one time, just keep going. If it's something you're passionate about, like
I don't
one time.
I don't want to get old and be like, why did I stop?
Right.
And regret all the time I had available to at least try. It doesn't matter if it's great. It doesn't matter if it's somebody else's standard of success. It's like, hey, at least I did it. Because I remember being a kid and someone laughed at me when I was maybe 10 or 11. I was like, I want to be a drummer in a rock band. It didn't really work out that way, but I got to be a lead singer. And but they laughed at me, and I'm just like, well, I kept going, and I am doing it. I'm trying it. I'm doing it. I'm putting in work. And so you just keep doing it. That's all I got for that one.
Yeah, kind of playing off of that, especially as far as music is concerned. Try, give it a try. If you can try.
Mm-hmm.
And if it didn't work out, that's fine. But you never know how well something's going to be received, or even if it's not well received, you still expressed yourself and gave it your best, and you didn't let your fear stop you. Even if something doesn't turn out quite the way you think it's going to, you didn't let your fear stop you. That's the main thing. With all else, place it in God's hands and be as prepared as you can for stuff. Talk about just life in general. And but no, just try. The best advice, like, don't let your fear stop you. If that was the case, I'd have no children, I'd have no farm, I'd have no band. So, and not to get all deeper heavy or anything, but just try. Give it a try. And just do the best you can.
There you go.
I got two, and they kind of bounce off of each other. One is to try and do 1% better every day. So whatever you do, just
That's good.
do it 1% better, and then the next day 1%, and it just adds up, and you just keep getting better and better at it. And then the second thing is you can't polish a turd.
That's very true.
Try.
You can't.
You
That's
have to start and you there, but if what you're starting out with is garbage, it's gonna continue to be garbage.
that's facts. For sure.
Bringing in the great advice. Is there anything musically you guys have wanted to try that you haven't done yet?
I can't say that on here. No, I already just I'm just a joke. Honestly, just getting on stage in front of larger and larger crowds has been something that I always wanted to do. Just because, like, I think I'm a really good actress. I pretend a lot. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. This is totally fine. Because a lot of people that don't see behind the scenes. They're like, you look so confident on stage. I'm like, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. I'm terrified. But I would like to take on more things that scare me. And maybe bigger crowds. And I mean, it's okay if I don't either. But that's something that I would like to see how I fare musically in that aspect. Yeah. It's already with the day in Pompeii. I'm doing things I haven't done before musically. Like there's a male vocalist in this band, and this is the first time I've been in a band with a male vocalist, and I was like, "What's that? What's that like?" I was like, "I have to figure this out," and that was a little scary. I was like, "I don't think I can match this," but it's working so far. So that was something that it's new, and so far I like it.
Awesome.
I don't know of like musical things that I've never tried yet that I'd like to try. I don't know. I don't know. In the back of your mind, especially when you get involved in heavy music, you always think it would be cool to try harsh vocals.
Oh, dude,
I can't do it. It's not for me. But I do think it's really cool to finally be in a musical act where that is a normal piece of it,
right?
and I really enjoy that. I don't know, just pushing the limit of trying, learning new ways to match the melody, learning new ways to build on that. Maybe that's more my next thing. With that,
Find out tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm kind of stumped on this one because I've done a lot in music, and I've kind of had a bucket list going. Certain things I've been able to tick off, and especially in this band, I've been able to tick off quite a few that I had. I don't know. I guess just be more creative and expansive with the sound, and experiment with new things, and um, that's definitely what I do. Is I experiment with sounds. They know I'll put things in the songs, and they're like, "What is that?" And it's like, "Oh, I hit the countertop with a bag of brown sugar and recorded it with my phone."
Yeah.
and it
It's
like
uh,
I'm like, what's that sample?
yeah, uh, broaden my horizons as far as sound design and things like that.
Was that one of your 3 a.m. projects that you did?
Slamming some brown sugar at 3 a.m.
Right. What do you guys do for fun outside of music?
That's a cool question. I like to garden and make. Yeah, I do. And I'm not talking like a glorious vegetable garden. No, like I like flowers and plants. This is something we're supposed to do when we hit 35. You have plants in your house, maybe sooner.
they
so
show up if you don't do
yeah,
anything.
I'm following the natural pattern that all women in their mid 30s do. Plant mom, absolutely. I love gardening. It's fun. I like pretty things. I like flowers. And it's been a hobby the past few years, and like on my street, I'm the house with the 13-foot tall sunflowers. That's the thing. Like that's what I'm known as on my street. And I got to represent every year, so I do that for fun. It's super fun. You wake up and you're like, oh, it's a new bloom, and I did that, and I took care of that, and I made it happen. It's quite rewarding. I suggest everyone try it, even on a small scale. But that's
Yeah,
what I
I
do
love
for
those
fun.
sunflowers, so that's awesome.
They're my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to garden. I have some success, some non-success, but it's a lot of fun. Before my children came along, I was an avid gamer, and Skyrim for the PC is the best video game that was ever created, and I'll fight anyone that thinks different. and
Be prepared to fight.
I'm learning to sew and then learning to cook a little bit more, trying to up my domestication skills. But those things I find
survival
super fun. Yeah. But no, I enjoy for fun, all things creating, whether it's, all things artistic, all things creating. Yeah, that's what I do for fun.
Yeah, and I like to game and listen to music. I collect vinyl and retro games, and I like movies. Big horror fan, so anything that's scary, it's right up my alley. I dabble in painting and baking and things like that. I'm a good cook, but a terrible baker.
Yeah, I can bake.
Yeah, I can bake.
But I don't think it's for fun. It's like necessity at this point.
Like we gotta eat.
Cookies.
Let me
Yeah.
bake these. I love horror movies, though. What's your favorite?
Probably The Shining.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good. I can watch that. I can't. I'm such a big baby. I just can't do it. Like I can't. I'll hyperfixate on it for a whole week, and I won't sleep. And I'm terrified of being alone. So I just can't. I can't do horror films. Sorry, y'all can have them. Keep them.
I will.
Yeah.
Conjuring was the best horror film series.
I
I can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't hear you. Yeah.
agree with the Conjuring. It's as a whole.
I watched it with my head away from the TV, and I was playing The Sims on PC, and people were in the room watching. I was like, I can hear it. I'm not watching it. Not gonna do
I
it.
love those movies because I love jump scares. So it's like, next. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the worst one of that franchise that like got to me was probably the La Llorona one because growing up, I'm in New Mexico, so like I would be traumatized with stories of like, oh, the ditch witch, that's what they called her here. The ditch witch is gonna get you. Oh no.
I liked how they were very loosely based on real stories. It's like when you hear the real stories, like okay, yeah, this kind of happened and this kind of happened.
Right.
No, and the movie version of these people is totally different than who they really were. But like for the most part, good wins in these movies for the most part. And then a whole bad thing happens and a sequel comes out and you're like, oh yay, or at least I am.
Yeah, I love those. I hope they make more.
Yes.
What was the first concert you saw?
I don't remember. Our parents took us to like look, we're in the South, and it was a lot of Southern gospel concerts that they took us to. Yeah. And so, like, if you want to be technical, I was like, those are concerts. I don't remember. I have no idea. I remember my most favorite was I won tickets to what was it called at King's Dominion? What do they call it?
King's Fest.
But and I was like 12, and so Candy, you would have been 14. We might have been 13, 15. Okay, 13, 15. And our parents were like, we're just going to drop you off. They dropped us off. I was like, oh my God, we're so cool. You got to remember, I'm like, 13 years old. This park with my sister.
Yeah.
I won the tickets, and we see the concert, and it was fun. Like I had a good time. There was like tornado warning, and this is before cell phones were like really widely available. I'm like, oh my God, what do we do? Do we call our parents? And we went to a little shelter, come back out, finish the concert. Like the experience was the one I remember. So I was older. A lot of people are like, yeah, I was like 8 rocking out. I'm like, no, I was a teenager by the time I finally went to a concert. But one of that was like the first experience. If we're talking first, that was it. King's Dominion.
Nice.
A lot of bands. It's too many to even remember, and I don't even remember all the people we saw. But it was a good time.
That's definitely memorable.
Yeah.
Mine was Metallica.
Nice.
It was during summer, so they were almost them and Godsmack opened up for them. So that was
That's a cool concert. My first one was in sync, so 90s kid.
Respect.
Yeah, I found some of my old concert stubs, and it was like $35 on the ticket. I was like, no way. I saw in sync for $35. Now, if they go on sale, it'd be like, I don't know. I don't even want that. Would
your mortgage.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
This month's rent.
I'm gonna have to sell you on the street. Yeah, crazy. But like the tornado warning thing, I went to a concert like that too. So I was pregnant with my son. I was like 7 months pregnant. It was a Luke Bryan concert, and
Nice.
Florida Georgia Line was playing. And all of a sudden, the sky just like turned black, and everybody's phones just started going off.
Yeah.
Severe weather alert. The next thing we know, like they were like ushering the band off the stage, and they're like, "Get out of here!" And like everybody just started running and panicking, and things were like
scary.
flying through the air. And like this is New Mexico, like we don't have tornadoes here. It was wild. Like we got to the parking lot, and like signs were like flying through the air. People were like hiding behind cars so they didn't get hit. We got to my car, like the back window was busted out because something had like flown into it. Crazy.
You won't forget that.
No, I will never forget that.
Never.
And then they ended up rescheduling it for like 2 months later, and it rained the whole time.
Not enjoyable.
No.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yep. But like you said, you'll always remember it.
Right. That's core memory, as they say.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
To fly. Or move things
Classic.
with your mind.
Telepath.
Yeah, I don't want to read minds. I don't want to do that.
No.
It would be helpful at times, but knowing my luck, I'd have no control over it, and I'd hear all the things I don't want to hear.
Right? Like sometimes it's better not to know what people are thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Telepathy would be fun.
Yeah.
For me. I'm really nosy. I want to know everything, like all the time. I want people to tell me exactly what they're thinking when they're thinking it. I don't know if that's weird, but I would just much rather people just be like, this is literally what's happening inside my head right now. Telepathy would be really cool. The ability to read minds, and to like get into their head and tell them things.
Yeah.
That's like top 3. But honestly, flying would be great, but I'm terrified of heights. So I still think that fear would just like carry on. It's like, I can fly, but I'm not gonna.
That's
I'm
so
scared.
I've heard that answer before too. I'm like, I would want to fly, but wait, I'm scared of heights. So no, maybe not.
Yeah, like, I mean, I could get in an airplane, but I'm not gonna.
Just teleport.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Teleportation. Absolutely.
Yes.
There you go. Then you don't have to be up in the air, because I'm terrified of heights as well. So I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with being able to teleport. Just, go from.
Especially as a musician, like that would make it so much easier.
Loading would be so much better.
Let me just send all my stuff, and I'll be right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Teleportation's cool.
For sure. All right. Well, I think we're about there. What is the best way to support you guys?
Stream our songs. Follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We are everywhere.
In your face.
Anywhere that you can stream music, you can go search for Dan Pompeii, and you'll see us. And that's really what people can do right now. So they can stay on the up and up. They know when new songs are coming down the line and what's going on with us. And it would be nice to like know more people. We would love to kind of see like constant interaction with our fans. We want to know who's listening to us. We want to be in contact. So people commenting, send us a message, say what's up. Like those are all really good things.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hear the new music. So,
And
but
thank you
you guys
for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, this was fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, everybody go like their pages, every platform, stream, and go see them if they play a show near you. But other than that, thanks, guys. You guys have a good night.
You as
Thank
well.
you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.